or $42.72, or go online to austinpaindoctor.com.
Welcome to the Treehouse of Love. We're live. Join the conversation at 512-836-0590. Now, here are Todd and Don.
707 Todd Jeffries and Don Pryor.
Morning.
We do it every day at this time, right here. It's the Daily Dossier. Top 5 stories you need to know about before you get to the office. President Donald Trump used his first official re-election speech to claim that a vote for Democrats in 2020 is a vote for what he calls radical socialism and the destruction of the American dream. Thousands of people packed the Florida arena last night as Trump repeated familiar attacks on Hillary Clinton and cited a thriving economy and his judicial nominees. He says he's saying little about the Democrat candidate seeking to challenge him or what he hopes to achieve in his second term. We have a full report on what his goals are on the front page of our website at newsradioklbj.com. Also, part of the dossier, the Trump administration is calling on illegal immigrants to turn themselves in ahead of a planned mass arrest.
They don't want to come knocking on doors. That from Mark Morgan, acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who's urging illegal immigrants to come out of the shadows.
Come to ICE. We'll work with you. We'll give you 30 days to get your affairs in order, and we'll help you return you to your country.
Morgan told Fox and Friends ICE is going after people who have ignored orders of removal, including families. He wouldn't give any details about the operation. In Washington, Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
Also in the dossier, the Austin City Council is up against a growing pushback over a plan to purchase property in South Austin for a homeless shelter. Almost 1,500 people that live in that neighborhood have signed this petition, including Cleo Patekrick. She spoke with CBS Austin.
It seems like this is all a concerted effort through the City Council undermining the needs and the safety of Austin residents.
Also in the news, a new property tax revenue limit signed into law. The Austin City Council is afraid, they're fearful of having to make some cuts to several different social programs that it funds each year. In order to save those programs, the City Council is now considering entering what some call economic agreements with major corporations. Here's Mayor Pro Tem Delia Garza.
If we are giving huge tax incentives to corporations, I'd like to weigh all of these things together.
Yeah, and Austin has a major agreement with Apple, Samsung, the Domain, all of which have combined to pump more than $4 billion into our economy, creating thousands of jobs. And in the dossier, an Austin police officer has been fired for having an alleged relationship with a woman he first met while responding to a report that she was being stalked. Chief Brian Manley says Jordan Wagstaff responded to a stalking call last year, what eventually became a romantic relationship while the case was still active. Now, Wagstaff claims he didn't realize this kind of relationship was against APD policy. So there you go. Now you're up to date. The Daily Dossier, 5 stories you need to know about before you get to the office, and we'll have it on the front page of our website here in just a couple of minutes at newsradioklbj.com.
Very nice. Very nice. Very well done. Now, folks, you're smarter when you get to the office. Keep your head held high. Stay cocky. That's why we do it.
An online petition against the city of Austin's proposed location for this new homeless shelter. As you know, the city this week is going to vote to spend $8.6 million on this shelter in South Austin. And now this petition is circulating, and the proposed site is at 1112 Ben White Boulevard. There in South Austin, $8.6 million.
Yeah.
And some people that live in that neighborhood, they've been screaming, they've been saying, hey, we've had a problem with the homeless community here in our neighborhood for many years. You haven't done anything about it. And they're concerned about a arch-style shelter in their neighborhood.
So I guess they look at this as not doing anything about it. Sounds like, and we knew this, any residential area, who is going to say, yes, please, please, for the love of God, bring a homeless shelter to our neighborhood? It's not going to happen. It's not. They should. The city. It sounds like the city did not work closely with them at all. It sounds like the city did not give them much a heads up.
Well, they were very secretive about it during this process.
Right.
Closed door meetings. We got a location, but we're not going to tell people.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
not the way to go about it.
No, it's not. And the city has a plan to put 3 more in place in various parts of the city.
Yeah. They do, and the city's track record is not good.
Do you support the idea of putting the homeless shelter where the homeless are?
No, I don't. I absolutely don't. No. What is the point of that? Where the homeless are is not desirable to anybody. They're acting like the homeless are not mobile. Well, how the hell did the homeless get there to begin with? And the other thing we have to look at, why are the homeless here in Austin, Texas? What are we doing in Austin? Because as we talked about yesterday, These folks are not from Austin. I imagine that the majority of them are not. A lot of them probably aren't even from Texas. So what are we doing wrong here in Austin that's bringing them here to begin with? No, don't put it in those areas. Those areas are already, the idea should be get them away from there. Get them away. And we see what's happened with the Arch. They hang out there. They end up loitering there. Drugs happen there, on and on, all the things that you know that come along with it.
Right. I hear what you're saying.
So it's going to be extreme. Nobody, no business, no resident is going to celebrate this being in their area. It's going to be mired in a lot of trouble for a long time.
All right, jump in here at 512-836-0590. It is 7:13. Stay with us here on the Todd and Don Show. You can join us with reaction, especially following that big Trump rally last night. 20,000 large inside, just as many outside watching on big screens. And you got all these polls saying Joe Biden will beat President Trump in 2020. Really? We'll dive into that straight ahead. Nobody's trusting these polls anymore.
Nah.
Hey, listen, if you've got a home to sell and you want to sell it fast and maybe make more money, you need to reach out to our friend Chris Waters. He's the broker and owner of Waters International Realty. He can get you a guaranteed offer within 72 hours. I was at his office earlier this week when we did our Facebook Live post, which you can scroll down on our Facebook page and see that conversation with Chris Waters. He explained in detail that right now he has a little more than 12,000 people that are actively looking to buy a home from him.
Wow.
This is pretty interesting, isn't it? He's helped a lot of people out there, though.
He has. This is a good one here. Teresa in Round Rock. Her mom unfortunately passed away, so Teresa couldn't afford to keep making payments on her home. She was worried that the home would be foreclosed on. The property was in very poor condition. Needed a ton of work. She said, I was tempted to take a cash offer from an investor. Chris Waters convinced me differently, told me don't make any repairs, that the market was so hot you don't have to worry about that. Sure enough, day one had 7 showings that night, had a full offer price, $40,000 more than someone offering an instant cash offer, by the way.
Sell your home today. Call Chris at 649-4000. That's 649-4000. You can also find him online at ChristopherWaters.com. That's with 2 T's. ChristopherWaters.com.